Dr. Elizabeth Bagshaw is renowned for her pioneering work in family medicine and as a founder of Planned Parenthood in Canada.
One of the things that she always talked about was she wasn't a particularly good student. She was always expressing her own opinions. She was very independent.
I was always getting into troubles. As public school, one teacher that taught for a year, I don't think he ever missed more than 2 days in a week that he didn't thrash me.
And I think it was 2 or 3 times she got the strap for some infraction. And then as she was walking back to her seat,
I stuck my tongue out and teacher, everybody laughed and he wanted to know what I did. And I said, "No, nothing you'd like to hear." And he took me up and gave me another one for being saucy.
A happy-go-lucky, independent-thinking Elizabeth Bagshaw grew up in rural Ontario in the late 1800s. As a self-proclaimed tomboy, she knew early on that she wanted the same opportunities as everyone else, even the boys.
We wanted to take a chemistry and biology at Toronto University, and I had to register as an occasional student. So I went up to Toronto University and there was a lineup of boys. One of them told me, he said, "You know, I think you're in the wrong place. It's down further where the girls are registering." I said, "Well, what are they registering here for?" And he said, "Oh, for medicine." Well, I said, "All right, I'll stay here." He didn't say anything. They didn't even answer me. They just laughed.
she was certainly seen as a second-class student. All women were.
And she had trouble finding a place that would allow her to do an internship or residency. So she actually came to Hamilton and was associated with another doctor in the city to start practicing.
Her practice was based mostly with immigrants and people who, at the time before we had OHIP, people who possibly could not pay her.
I made arrangements with Field, the livery stable, to bring the horse and carriage down to the office at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I would keep it till 12. And at night, I used to always take my bicycle.
Deliver 3,000 babies, and in one 24-hour period, I think she delivered 5 children. So she was a very busy doctor.
There's a story about her taking the lamps from her car into a home when there was a power outage and using these lamps to deliver a baby.
And it started to rain, a thunder shower came up, and all of a sudden off went all the lights, and they had no candles, and the baby was just about ready to be born. So I rushed out to the car, and my first car had 3 coal oil lamps and 2 carbides. So I took the 3 coal oil lamps and took them into the house and lit them. And then I scrubbed up again and the baby was born and everything all right. Took my lamps back. But I don't know what I'd done if I had those lights.
The other thing that I think I remember are some of the stories that she told about the Spanish flu.
We didn't know anything about flu. We had no penicillin, no vaccines of any kind for pneumonia, but we did have aspirin for pain. So quickly it developed that we closed theaters, we closed churches some of the time, we closed the doctor's offices. That was where people were congregating together and spreading it. Older people and babies and pregnant women nearly all died.
In the 30s, the world plunged into deep economic depression, and the already disadvantaged population that Dr. Bagshaw served was being plagued by another fight for survival.
When I joined Planned Parenthood, we were having a depression, and so many poor people couldn't afford to have children. The bishop always warned the graduates not to come near the Planned Parenthood because it was run by heretics and devils. I was a devil. I didn't worry about it.
Dr. Elizabeth Bagshaw was a pioneer and Canadian hero for women's health. Her 70-year career as a family physician is a remarkable testament to the profound changes she effected in times of enormous adversity.
Hers was a life of service. She was all about people and making a difference for people.
Canadian Medical Hall of Fame laureate for 2007, Dr. Elizabeth Bagshaw.